Why is there so much suffering on earth? First, we need to describe that there are two kinds of suffering. There is the suffering that a soul chooses to incarnate into for whatever purpose. It always has its purpose. Of course, 99.9% of the time, it's experience, to gain a certain experience. So it will choose to incarnate in poverty, in a war zone, in illness, in a body that isn't functional, or a mind that isn't functional. That is done by soul choice. We're not going to talk about that suffering because every soul has its reason for doing this. So I couldn't explain everything. For instance, in my case, I did not have a very happy childhood. But as I grew older, actually as I got into these metaphysical things, I discovered that I chose a son of a bitch for a father because that is what I wanted to experience, and to force me, literally force me, to take my power. Had I chosen a very nice father, I would never have taken my power, and I would never have become as powerful as I am now. Powerful meaning knowing me, liking me, manifesting what I want in my life. That kind of power. Had I chosen a very nice person for a father, I simply would not have been forced to do it. Now there is another suffering on earth. The suffering that is caused by sheer stupidity. That's the suffering we need to focus on really if we want to change our lives. Not really change the world. The world is fine just the way it is. But to change our lives, we need to start thinking. We don't think. We let others do the thinking for us. We let television do the thinking for us. We let others convince us of what we think we need, or what we think we want, or what we think is good, or what we think is the best, or what we think is happiness. We keep seeing in television commercials, in the movies, from other people, we keep hearing that happiness is getting married and having children. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to have a look around and figure out that that has absolutely nothing to do with happiness. This is what we have to look at. These people are suffering out of sheer stupidity. That is all. As we have mentioned in another video, there is a small percentage of the population. I don't want to say the number because people get too technical and they get hung up on numbers. There is a small percentage of the population, it's under 10%, that have put family or children in their book, in their life's book, their blueprint, their contract, whatever we would like to call our life book. For that small percentage, it is natural for them to do this because this is what they came to do. But for the majority of the population, over 90%, this is not what we came to Earth for. And yet we can't see it. We keep watching television and saying, yes, this is what I want. No, it is a 30-second commercial. It is not life. And it has to show you this. It has to show you something that is unreachable, something you cannot reach, so you can buy the product in the hope that you will reach it, that you too will be a Colgate family. This is the kind of suffering we need to look at. Not the suffering that is going on in war-torn countries. This is what those souls came to experience. For as long as they want to experience it. And once they're over it, they will move. They will find a way to move. But because we don't want to make changes in our everyday suffering, we focus on the extreme. Because we don't want to leave a job we don't like, because we are afraid in case we don't like the next one too, or in case we don't find the next one, we focus on the extreme cases, the extreme situations. Whenever you find yourself focusing on the extreme situations that are going on in the world, ask yourself, is there any suffering inside me that I can change? And keep asking questions. Why am I going to do this? For instance, you meet someone and you focus on marriage straight away, right away, from day one sometimes. Ask yourself, why am I focusing on a long-term relationship with this person? Why? There isn't just one answer for this, but because we never ask the question, we cannot change our own suffering. Why do I think I need a big house? Why do I think I need a $400 purse, handbag? Why do I think I need these uncomfortable shoes that are fashionable, supposedly? These are the kind of questions that will make you more aware of who you are and what you really like and what you have come here for. And this way, you will not be in suffering. Because our suffering in the rich countries is by choice. We don't have an excuse. At least the countries where there is unbearable suffering to us, what we would call unbearable suffering, they don't have as many choices as we do. They do have some, but they don't have as many as we do. We go into suffering by pure choice. We need to take a look at this. Don't condemn it. Don't judge it. Simply ask questions. Why do I do this? I meet so many young, beautiful clients that come to me and they are miserable because they are not in a long-term relationship. And I'm thinking, this woman is beautiful, she's talented, she has a good job, and she's miserable. So what are the other people going to say that are not beautiful, that are not talented, and that don't make very good money? This is what I mean by we suffer by choice. Because when she was a little girl, she believed the dream that was created so that we can keep shopping. And now she's suffering. But we don't want to focus on this, so we focus on Afghanistan. Focus on you. Ask yourself, why am I suffering? That's all. Don't expect an answer that moment, but that will open the door for the soul to bring you answers, little by little. Again, life is a process. Do not rush. You did not come to earth to just be happy. You can be very happy if you like, but that is not the reason you came to earth. One of the reasons you have come to earth is to see how you can overcome obstacles, blockages. So, let us focus on our own suffering rather than the suffering outside. So again, I have to close it with this. I'm sorry that a lot of people don't like it when I mention the word stupid, but the majority of us are suffering out of stupidity. Nothing else but stupidity.